A searing accusation, a silent resolve, and a truth that shook the world. What did Ibrahim Traoré sacrifice to stand for Africa's soul? Stay until the end. This will break your heart and renew your faith. June 18, 2025. Geneva's press room crackles with energy. Journalists buzz as world leaders debate Africa's new economic alliance. Cameras hum, screens flash, whispers swirl. Suddenly, Donald Trump, unscheduled, pushes past a security advisor, seizing the mic. His voice, jagged and bitter, slices through. Ibrahim Traoré is a danger to U.S. interests in Africa. He's destabilizing progress, cozying up to anti-American regimes. If this continues, the U.S. will respond harshly. Gasps ripple. Journalists freeze. A translator falters. Captain Ibrahim Traoré in the front row doesn't blink. His eyes steady, lock on Trump's, lips pressed. He radiates unshakable calm. In Ouagadougou, a child grips his mother's hand, the broadcast searing every African screen. Trump's face tightens. The U.S. doesn't play games. He storms off. Silence holds for 12 seconds. Then the world tilts. In Bobo Dioulasso, Adama watches a flickering TV with her son, Madu, 10. "Mama, why does Trump hate Captain Traoré?" he asks, eyes wide. Adama's gaze glistens. Traoré, who gave her brother a dignified burial after terrorists razed their home, is Hope's heartbeat. "Some fear voices that rise without permission," she murmurs. American anchors dissect sanctions, war, economic chokeholds, and diplomatic rifts flood screens. Hashtags surge. Stand with Traoré. African resistance. U.S. Africa. In a Geneva hallway, Traoré slips from cameras, eyes ablaze. "My people won't be silenced," he tells an aide. In Washington, intelligence officials pass a document. Africa strategy. Urgent. The world's axis shifts, its destination unknown. At 2:47 a.m. Washington time, National Security Advisor Grant Mercer's phone buzzes. "Global backlash building. West Africa unites. U.S. interests at risk." The president, voice steady, asks, "What did Trump unleash?" Officials watch clips of Africans marching peacefully, signs proclaiming, "Don't touch Traoré. Africa's not a pawn. Dignity's new name." Across 22 African nations, embassies brace as crowds swell. Not with rage, but wounded pride. In Geneva, Traoré steps to the press stage. No script, no polish. "Africa deserves respect. Our children aren't chess pieces. If dignity is war, so be it." The room doesn't clap, tears fall, tremors ripple. An American reporter lowers his pen. Traoré's quiet voice shakes the earth. In Bamako, Mali, a classroom halts. Madame Aminata projects the headline, "Trump calls Traoré a threat." 11-year-old Musa raises his hand. "Traoré gave us schoolbooks. Why's America mad?" Aminata's eyes brim, recalling Traoré's visit post-floods, hugging elders, rebuilding homes. "When a man stands for his people, the world fears him," she says. In Lagos, protests erupt. Some back Trump, others wave Traoré's image, shouting, "Africa must stand." In Washington, reporters demand, was Trump speaking for the U.S.? In Geneva, Traoré, alone in his hotel, reads his mother's text. "Don't break, my son. Africa needs your heart." He wipes his face, standing taller. At the Pentagon, a red file slides across. Africa Strategic Response Plan. Bolded, economic pressure, media surveillance, diplomatic isolation. An official pauses. Punish Burkina Faso for Traoré's courage. Another replies, "We're safeguarding influence." The order, weaken Traoré silently. But in Senegal, mothers pray by photos of sons lost to terrorism. One whispers, "Traoré's forces saved our boys." In Abidjan, a leaked U.S. sanctions draft sparks fury. Why target a man feeding villages? Social media ignites. Africa stands, our Traoré as hope, end colonial control. In Geneva, the UN African delegation visits Traoré. "The continent's with you." He nods, saying, "We fight without fists." In Ouagadougou's hospital, 9-year-old Zara, bald from chemo, watches Trump's tirade. Traoré's visits, books, mangoes, laughter, light her world. "Did I do something wrong?" she asks the nurse. "Why is he shouting at my president?" The nurse kneels, tears held back. "You're brave, so is he." Zara draws Traoré shielding children from an American shadow, writing, "Don't be scared, Captain. We're with you." The image goes viral. Before a briefing, Traoré sees it on an aide's tablet. He whispers, "I can't break, not when they believe." He steps to the podium, resolute. At 3:14 p.m. Geneva time, a U.S. State Department whistleblower leaks proposal for economic pressure on Burkina Faso. Nairobi's Kevin Odambo reads live. Traoré's leadership threatens U.S. investments. Hashtags flood. Hands off Africa. Traoré did nothing wrong. Traoré watches, eyes heavy. Poverty weaponized against his people. A Kenyan farmers group texts, "We'll eat leaves before we betray you." He smiles faintly. In Abuja, the African Union meets secretly. A West African president suggests abandoning Traoré, America's no small foe. Mali's Sissoko snaps, "Betray the man who fed us?" The leaked debate fuels marches in Accra, Dar, Windhoek, Yaoundé. Signs, "Traoré's our son, you don't sell your child." That night, Traoré sits alone. His mother's voice message plays, "When your father died, you vowed to shield others from that pain. You've given hope. If they turn, walk forward." Tears fall, love's burden heavy. Outside, thousands of African students gather, uninvited, with candles, flags, chanting, "Don't bow, Captain." A girl sign, "He cried for us. We cry for him." Traoré opens his window, hand on heart, bows as Africa's son. The crowd roars. In Fodé, Gourma, Mariama, widow of Sergeant Musa Bomba, writes, "Trump, my husband died saving schoolgirls. Traoré carried his coffin. Your words wound." Her letter, aired on radio, goes viral. Some pin it to doors. Traoré reads it, hands trembling. "She remembers. That's enough," he says. In Yako, elders recall Traoré burying the chief's grandson, killed by a landmine. They send food, fabrics, tea to Geneva. "Our son, you're never alone." Traoré opens worn sandals, a note. "My sons, worn when you restored our dignity." He whispers, "I'll walk with them." The UN General Assembly meets, tense. A vote looms. Sanctions on Burkina Faso. The US pushes. Europe wavers. Africa splits. A civilian video interrupts. Zara, bald, masked, soft-voiced. "Don't punish my president. He hugged me when I lost my hair. Don't hurt us." Delegates weep. The vote fails. Traoré chooses tears over power. In Geneva's press hall, journalist Elena Reyes asks, "You're called a threat. What do you say?" Traoré, "Is water over loans rebellion? Dignity a threat? The world's lost its heart." Elena cries, writing, "I met humanity's voice." At 4:38 p.m., the White House calls, "Traoré, we want to de-escalate. Your influence scares markets." Traoré, "I chase peace. You started the storm. Don't ask me to silence thunder." He hangs. In a Niger refugee camp, 7-year-old Fatima, mute since her parents' death, hands a U.S. senator her drawing. Traoré shielding her from a soldier. She wrote, "He didn't forget us. Why did you?" The senator posts it. Protests erupt in Washington. Sanctions kill children. Let Africa breathe. CNN reports. Traoré, symbol of forgotten children. Geneva's evening air hums. Thousands gather. Africans, Europeans, Americans, students, mothers with babies and flags. Traoré emerges with Zara, flown in her hospital gown, holding her hand. "This isn't me. It's her future, yours. We fight with love. Let the powerful tremble." He kisses her forehead. She smiles. Rihanna, Pope Francis share it. Hope. Africa trends for dignity, not despair. That night, a Burkina journalist posts a photo. 15-year-old Traoré, barefoot, holding a sign. "I'll speak for the shoeless." It goes viral. Oprah, Lupita Nyong'o share it. A U.S. school frames it. Traoré recalls that day. He'd buried a friend. In his hotel, he opens a yellowed letter from his late father. They'll humiliate you, but don't bend. Dignity outshines anger. Tears fall. He whispers, "You were right, Papa." Traoré returns home to children, not parades, promising, "I fight for the voiceless. Like to show dignity matters." Comment, what moved you? Subscribe for truth, hope. Say, I stand with Traoré. Let's make this the year's biggest story.